Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills?
Here.
Commissioner Holmes?
Here.
Commissioner Hollywood?
Here.
Commissioner Vandergraff?
Here.
Commissioner Wright?
Here.
Commissioner Burr?
Here. Next item we have on the agenda is approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All right, it's been motioned and approved. Are there any discussion? There's no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, minutes are accepted as read. Moving down to the next item, we have Parks and Recreation. Mr. Darby?
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to ask for reallocation of the $267,000 for the inclusive playground at the rec center. They've mobilized. They're going to start delivering the playground this week. They've already got the storage containers there, so just reallocation of those funds for this year.
All right, the funds we've already voted on to.
Yes.
Are they in discussion for Mr. Darby?
This was approved in '23 to be spent in '24.
Yes.
Correct, okay.
Yeah.
So what was the delay with getting the equipment?
We just got
there?
behind on getting bids out, but that's all it was. So everything's ready to go. I got an email from RJR Sunday saying that they would mobilize and get the material here this week.
So it'll arrive this week, and how long does it take?
I'm waiting to hear back from him on when they're actually going to start, but should be within the next couple of weeks. Because they rented storage containers for 2 months, and they delivered those today.
Okay.
So they're not going to sit there and
Good.
let those
Waste money. Yeah.
charge rent for a while.
That sounds good. We don't have
I'm
to.
excited to see that
Yeah.
come up, yeah.
And I'll start providing pictures of updates as they start building.
All right, sounds good.
Motion to approve reallocation?
Second.
All right, it's been motioned and second. Are there any discussion?
No.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills?
Here.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's change it up a little
Commissioner Hollywood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandergraff?
bit. Here. Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Burr?
Yes.
All right, the other thing is, y'all approved money for a playground at Senator Park to be spent this year. I'd like to move that from Senator to Sand Flat Center.
All
I
right.
think we'll get more use out of it there at Sand Flat, and it's for $67,000. So I just wanted to come in front of y'all and ask to move it from one park to another before I started. So
And how much was allocated on it?
$67,000.
All right.
And why do you think moving it would, is it like it
The-
not suitable
it's-
for the?
Well,
other-
at Sand Flat, there's the neighborhood center,
Uh-huh.
and they do after-school programs.
Oh, okay.
And some summer programs, so they've got more kids in the area
Okay.
over there.
Do you know how long it's been since we've put any new equipment at
I-
the center?
I do not. It's been a while, I'm sure. Well before I started, and that was at least 7 years ago. So it's been a while. So,
All right, if there's no other questions, is there a motion on the floor?
I make a motion.
A second.
All right, it's been motioned and second. Are there any questions? If there's no other questions, roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills?
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yes.
Commissioner Hollywood?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandergraff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wright?
Yes.
Director Burr?
Yes.
thank y'all.
Is it, Adam, is it possible to get that installed this year, or is
Yeah.
this going to be on the
Yeah,
same
I'll
time?
start this week on getting the proposal together, and I'll get it sent out in the next week or two.
Okay,
So,
All
yeah,
right.
we'll get it.
okay, thanks.
Thanks. Next item we have on the agenda, we have Intense Library.
Hey, how you guys?
Good.
Had a little dental surgery, so got a little Elmer Fudd going on.
Don't
here,
worry,
so-
I had that last week as well.
You had 2 surgeries now.
2 surgeries in 1 week.
God bless you. We ran into a little problem with, actually, it was you, Mr. Brewer, who told me when I said 10,000 in advertising that it wasn't enough, and I thought, I'm trying to see if I can put both of those concerts together and have one. I had Tracy Lawrence earlier this year, and after the election, Kid Rock stole him. So he's on tour with Kid Rock right now, but we got a November date that we're pretty much locked in on. And I was just going to see if I could roll them both into one and put some of the money. Like, I'm not trying to just make money off of everything here. I'll put some money back in the community. We're trying to do a Beautify State Line nonprofit that, we can put signs and stuff up down the road coming to State Line, or to downtown here to show people where the concert is. And, I got some sponsors that we've been talking to on that to try to help us with stuff like that. It's just, this is my first big show, and my partner, he's done a lot of them, but I'm trying to learn it myself. But it's a little more expensive than I thought, but I really think that the people in Texarkana, they're ready for something big that'll be successful, and I think we can do it.
Would this still be the 2 artists, or would it just be 1 artist?
Just be one.
And it would be
I
Tracy
can't get the
Lawrence?
Tesla guy.
Okay.
His manager is Metallica's manager, and they act like we don't exist. Like, this is a hometown. He didn't even bat an eye at that. He was just like, son, I just need to know the bottom line. But yeah, I think we do start off with Tracy. He's got this new podcast that's came out, and it is, the young kids know who he is all of a sudden now. And my daughter's like, hey, if that Tracy guy comes, I think we all want to go. And I think it would be really successful. I do.
What's the proposed dates?
We got 45 and 45, I believe.
Now, the proposed
date.
date?
Yeah.
November,
It's like November the 6th. My phone's back there, but it's a Saturday in November, and I believe it's this November 6th.
Do you
we
know
have
the
Have
date?
you put together a business plan or anything with budget expenditures? or
Yes,
anything?
ma'am, that's what, we were working on it with first with the Tesla thing, and then when
Yeah.
it kind of crumbled, but I can get you all that stuff. We got some bids for sound and lights and security company, and also I was going to ask, I don't know if you have any affiliation with the fairgrounds, because we kind of thought about a backup plan if it rained, because they want 10% of every $1,000 insurance that you want, and it ended up being, $10,000 or $12,000 worth just for an insurance policy.
For rain?
For rain.
Wow.
Yeah, so, we went back all the way to 2020, and it's 1 year it rained, 1 year it didn't, on that weekend, so it's a shot in the dark for sure.
So we're looking at
Yeah.
November 8th? That's a Saturday in
That's it,
November.
yes, ma'am.
I think I would like to see a business plan of some sort with your expenditures and everything before I can say yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
Had you already start planning for both artists?
Yes, ma'am, both of them were basically the same blueprint.
Okay,
It's just that one of them was a whole lot more talking back with us than the other one was.
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me is the first guy, he comes to town sometimes. So when I see him and get to talk to him, hopefully we can go around the middleman. So that's my plan with him.
All right,
And
so your format haven't changed, just that you just don't have the additional artists.
Yes, sir.
How long would it take for you to get an updated proposal and like an itemized plan for the event?
Probably 2 weeks.
Do we want to vote on it, or do we want to,
Yeah, I think, to be at a good consensus, we could put it to a vote.
okay?
Well, and Chairman, the next regularly scheduled meeting is in April after the reallocation deadline in March. So just
Yeah,
wanted to,
well, being that it's not that far away, we could,
So you're saying you want 90,000 for the one show?
Yes, ma'am, and like I said, I don't know if I'll use it all, I don't plan on using it at all, just, what we need to make the show go by,
Okay.
and
And what would you use the money for?
the money would be like, the lights, and the sound. Are you talking about the money that we're getting, what would be
From
used for?
here, from A&P?
Yeah, the artist is gonna be at least, Tracy's up to 75 to
Yeah.
100,000, so that's a big chunk of it right there.
Yeah.
And then you get sound and lights and security, stage rental.
What are your plans for marketing the,
That's where I run into that, when at first I thought I had enough money, I was like, oh, 10,000, that's easy. And then when you start talking to the TV people, there's your 10, it's right there. But we
Yeah.
want to do TV, Facebook, Instagram, X, and radio.
okay. Do you have any sponsors as of right now?
That's what, yes, ma'am, we've been talking to, Chubby Cheeks and places like that up and down.
Okay.
The guy in Shreveport, he's been handling that end of it, but I just remember he had talked to Chubby Cheeks, and I think he'd talked to Budweiser here locally.
Okay, okay.
And this would be a ticketed event?
Yes, sir.
What's the price point for the tickets?
We're thinking $25. I think.
How many does that space hold?
Last time I think Mr.
Probably
I don't
Collins,
even know.
5,000. It would probably hold 5,000, right?
It holds much
For
more than
standing
that.
room only?
Yeah, when I figured a square footage 6 months ago or so, you normally would allow for about 7 square foot, I believe it was, for an open venue like that. And it was like 9,000 people,
Wow.
something like that. It's hard to imagine 9,000 people out there, but
it is.
Yeah,
that's,
I'm like
I mean,
looking
that's
at
packed in there,
9,000.
that's packed in there pretty good.
Yeah,
And that's just virtually the area immediately in front of the stage. It goes out to the side a little bit, but that is the viewing area where you have full view of the stage.
gotcha. Okay.
I have a couple reservations about this.
Okay.
The only point of reference we have for any big concert down there is the Priscilla Block
Right.
concert. We couldn't sell a ticket to that
I
to
know.
save our lives.
I do.
And when we first approved this allocation, the initial ask was for 125, I believe, for each one. And it was approved for much, much less. So I feel like we're getting back up to where we're almost fully funding this event, which was probably not our intention to begin with,
Right.
by doing 40 and 45 per event. And I don't see where this is, I don't see where you're gonna get that crowd. And I don't know how to say this.
Oh, go with it,
I
man.
mean, it's a gamble. It's
It
a
is,
big risk.
absolutely.
The way I'm looking at it.
Right.
Yeah,
But like, I think with Tracy, I'd be willing to bet 90%'s heard of Tracy. How many of you had heard of Priscilla Block
I
before
had
you?
never heard of Priscilla Block. I didn't know who she was.
Before you got it
No one
thrown.
really knew who she was.
I mean, it's just,
It was
me putting on concerts in places, that lower generation where my daughter's 22, they just don't go support stuff. If there's a cover charge, oh my God, what do you mean it's a cover charge? Like,
yeah.
they just don't spend like the older, like I found out that 80s rock and 90s country, it's gold every time I've done one. It's like it's always worked out. But I throw those young ones in there, they'll all say they're coming. Crickets when it happens. And like I said, I'm not trying to get you to sponsor the whole thing. I just think, I won't use any more money than I need to make it work. And then I'll put some back on the other end into the community, like with the,
So with the existing, is it 40 or 45 that you have now?
I think it's 45. It's right in there.
Yeah, it was 45.
Could you pull this off with that amount?
It would pay the deposit on Tracy. And then where I'm worried about is you're gonna get into, the security company, they want their half deposit. Everybody wants their half of the deposit. And that's what I'm worried about, like, if I knew I had it and it was guaranteed, and then you could start selling the tickets and pull out of that. It's just, like you said, it's a gamble, but I wouldn't be coming to you if I didn't think it'd make some money.
So do you have any other guaranteed funding sources? I know you've talked to some sponsors, but do you have anybody that's committed for any dollar amount?
Budweiser act like they were on, and then Chubby Cheeks act like he was on. And
How
then
much are they sponsoring?
we hadn't got there yet. We want to make sure we announced it first. We were just, was it something that you
Okay.
guys would be
Gotcha.
looking into?
You
And
know, I think it's great, a great idea. You know, we've got this big, beautiful stage downtown, and to see a national act come down and pack it, that would really be amazing to me.
yeah, I just hate that Priscilla is the bar that's
Yeah.
left that taste in your mouth because, you know, I wish they'd put anybody down there that we all knew that would, people will come from, I mean, he just played in El Dorado and packed it out, you know, like, they'll come.
I feel
You said
like
it-
for me, I need more of a business plan and expenditures. I need to see more of that, you know, before I can say yes.
I'd like to put it to a vote.
Okay,
Business plan and expenditures.
with
Is
that,
that?
I'm sorry, what did you say you would need to see more of?
You know, just something in writing saying
Laid
these
out
are
on
their
a plan.
sponsors, this is how much they're given, you know, and stuff like that,
Okay,
and expenditures and.
yeah.
all right, with that being said, as Attorney Potter has informed us that our next meeting is in April, which is well after the deadline. So as for him, I think you said you'd take you a couple of weeks to come up with those documents, because you don't have those documents right now, so it'd be after the deadline. I think it could be feasible, we could maybe just go ahead and put it to a vote that while we're here, instead of waiting till after the deadline. Attorney Potter,
Somebody needs to make a motion either way.
I
Motion
make
to
a motion that
reallocate.
we do a vote.
I have,
Second.
can I ask one question before we call roll? Now, according to our bylaws, does this have to be unanimous?
For reallocation?
reallocation?
No.
all right. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any other discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollywood,
No.
Commissioner Vandergraff,
No.
Commissioner Wright,
No.
Director Brewer.
Yes. Yes.
So in the event of a tie, what happens? Motion fails, correct?
Well, it's a seven-member board. So three votes yay, 3 votes nay, correct?
And then one.
Motion fails.
All right.
So what now?
It's allocated just as it was at the
Originally.
last meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Which is 44,000 for Tesla, 45,000 for Tracy Lawrence.
But Attorney Pollard, now we have a 6-member board? Do we still have a 7-member?
Yes, ma'am.
We still have a
Seven.
7?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I thought we had a 6, so.
Unless somebody resigned, I don't know about.
No,
No.
Randy Henry's been removed from the board.
He has been removed.
Yes, sorry, I forgot to mention that to you. Yeah, we've got, yeah, so it is just.
Okay.
We have one vacancy right now.
Okay. Well, even in the event of a 6-member board, it's not a majority.
Right.
Well, is there a consideration, or is there, could you, like, do 2 concerts still, since you're approved for 2, and pick someone other than Tesla? Is that a possibility?
Yes, ma'am, probably could.
Well, let's think about that. I don't know how the board feels about that.
If it was approved for Tesla, though, would I have to come
Right,
back
well,
and
you
do
got
it?
approved for both, so, Tesla's not able to do it, why don't you stick someone else in there? And then that would give downtown 2 opportunities to flourish.
That's something that can be done?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we would need to approve a different artist, but, I mean,
If you-
you're still allocated for 2 events.
Right. What I would do is, if you could contact me if you get another artist before that March deadline.
Okay.
And, you know, if we're giving up on the Tesla guy and doing something else, just let me know and let the city know, and if we have to do a special meeting to reallocate. There might be a few that, you know, next month that need to reallocate.
If it's after March, we can suspend the rules and approve that after March, correct? I mean, I think we've done that in the past.
You can, I mean, given that he's got 2 events for 44 and 45,000, you know, he just needs to get on it.
Gotcha.
The March deadline is for last year's allocations, so
Okay.
it wouldn't apply to this
So this
year's,
year's.
right?
Well, the allocations for the
24,
October
25.
24 meeting?
No, the
It'd be
October
2023,
23.
wouldn't it?
So
There was
the
this, because.
the 24 amount that were funded for 24, those can be reallocated for 25 up until March.
Okay.
Correct?
Right, okay.
Gotcha.
Oh,
So this
Okay.
wouldn't fall under that category, because this is allocated for
Gotcha,
25.
okay. So you can ask for reallocation anytime this year, right?
Okay. All right, thank you, guys, and sorry I wasn't more prepared. I didn't know I was coming up here.
Well, just make
I
sure
thought we
you-
were just meeting somewhere.
Hey, just follow up with Attorney Potter.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Next item we have is adoption of the amendments to the bylaws.
I think
As you
Oh,
skipped
be
it.
damn,
I
what?
did. Oh,
Yes, you
sorry about that. Sorry about that.
skipped to it.
Auburn County. Auburn. Wait a minute.
You got to old.
You might have to,
I'm
they
sorry,
redid
I-
this. It's been redone, so we didn't get a new one. Yeah, you got an old one.
Yeah, I got the old one here. Sorry about that, Judge.
Hey, I'm good. Hey, good afternoon, guys. I'm not coming for anything. I just wanted to come and kind of spend some time. And one of my favorite stories is a story about 10 guys who needed something. They went and asked for it, got helped, and only one guy came back and said, thanks. I want to be that one guy and say thanks. And just thank you for what we're doing, but also kind of show you what we do have going on. I've talked to some of you guys off on the side about how can we make Texarkana better and how can we bring more people in and spend more money, because that's what it's about, is getting people to come into your town and spend some more money for some time. And so I want to give you an update on some of the things we're working on and maybe some of the things we talk about next year, because when I came in doing this, I didn't know y'all's process of kind of how we work together to just do some different things in the community and bring some people in. So some of the things we're working on, if you guys had an opportunity to do that, that's great, but really we're looking at, just wanting you to see what's kind of in my mind and what y'all are thinking about. So some of the things that we're going to work on for this year and that maybe we can work on even bigger for next year with some partnerships. Memorial Day, that's kind of the official kickoff to summer and bringing people in and going, hey, we've been spending all this time in school and spring's here, and have that kickoff. So we have a small concert going on there. We've got some performance costs. We've got one of the things I'd really like to do, and I talked to some of you guys about it, and I think I mentioned I'm on the board of tourism for the state of Texas. And one of the things that we do, a lot of our events are drone shows. I don't know if y'all have had one in Texarkana yet. They are incredible, and they bring people from all over the place. And so drone shows where you've got all these synchronized drones. They go up and they spell out whatever you want to do. Texarkana, they'll do fireworks, they'll do all kinds of stuff with drones. They are fairly expensive, but also like a 200 count drones where you've got 200 synchronized drones doing their thing. The cost, a big part of that is the programming in that in the first place. So if we ever wanted to do something in Texarkana where we had one at a certain time of year and we wanted to have something very similar 2 or 3 times, the cost is like a third for those second and third drone show. So if we wanted to do that because it's all that programming where we want to talk about, what images we want and how we want it to do, and does it go to music and all those kind of things. So that first one's expensive, and then when you get the chance to bring it down some. We'll be marketing, what we want people to do and see for that Memorial Day event, bringing people out to the water park, and then having that open later for that night, for that late concert and stuff like that, bringing in lights and bringing in security. So that's kind of a cost associated with having that, and it's a big one because it's got the drone show. But Friday Night Lives, we do events on Friday nights. We want to do that not only on Friday night, but extend something out through the whole day so we can get people to stay in Texarkana all day long and have a reason maybe to come and stay overnight in Texarkana. But have the Big Damn Horns come out. They came out one time this summer. A great event where they're, brass instruments coming out and playing, having another band later in the day. Of course, doing our marketing and all those kind of things to have those events for a time on Friday nights. We're developing a thing that we'd like to call Weekend at Benny's, because our mascot, Benny the Beaver, kind of playing off a Weekend at Bernie's, where we could tie in with some of the hotels that are around there, maybe have a casino night on a Friday night where they're coming in and doing that, having a mix and stay that night, and then have a big concert and some events on a Saturday. Again, having people stay the whole weekend. We have little beavers we're going to look at, and if you're a part of that event and you go around town and you show that at a restaurant, maybe get a discount at some of the restaurants, again, trying to get people to spend money in that Texarkana, Arkansas side. But getting the casino together, working with the hotels around, maybe the convention center there in front of us, having, like we heard a while ago, those 80s bands, having a Journey band. We have those a lot at some of the other water parks. And the 80s bands really do bring out everybody from high school to,
Yeah.
our age.
They do.
So
Take me back
I'm throwing our out there
Yeah.
real loosely, so from teenagers to our age. So don't be offended. A lot of spend and marketing on that, but that's where you get, and social media is a great place to reach really everybody you want to reach. You can target their ages. So that would be a great event, that Weekend at Benny's. I think it would get people to come in and stay for more than just a day. We'd love to have a big Juneteenth celebration also. Get a DJ out there, having maybe a family cook-off, games and activities all throughout the day, inside the park, outside the park. I would like to see, and I've talked to some of you guys about this, we've got all the hotels around that area, we've got a great road. Just have that as some kind of event, whether it's for Juneteenth, 4th of July, Memorial Day, where we could have food trucks out there, we could have maybe even a small carnival out there in that field that's close to it, but create a big experience on that side of town as well, because you've got all the makings of having that there. I was at Vegas not long ago for a convention or whatever, but the Tropicana Hotel was being imploded that night when we were there, and the hotels that were facing that spot were going for like $1,800 a night, just so you could watch a hotel be imploded. I don't think you can get $1,800 a night. I'm just going to say, not fill it up though if you get a chance to have something going out in the street and having stuff to walk to.
Well, I can talk to the owners, but,
We want to implode that one and have
Yeah.
everybody else, that might not work either. I don't know if they'd like that. A Friday Night Live 4th of July event, having a concert there on Friday Night Live. Different entertainment throughout the day as well, kind of making it an all-day event. So people are looking for great events. I'd love to do a fireworks show as well. I know Texarkana has had that in the past and maybe does not do that anymore. And it definitely depends on how you operate that, how you keep it safe and create that environment to is that going to work or not. But fireworks shows, drone shows are both extremely good events to bring people out. Let me see here. Movie night, we want to have a couple of those, one more younger and family oriented and one probably Jaws late at night, showing that in the wave pool. And just, again, creating opportunities and reasons for people to come out, not only the Big Dam Water Park, but coming into town, making it a regional destination and continuing to grow that for all of us. So Labor Day weekend kind of closes out the summer. It's our bookend to Memorial Day weekend. And so a couple of concerts there again, maybe Big Damn Horns and then Chasing Rita. talking to some of those guys as well. And then just, again, our process of our marketing spend, our lights, those kind of things. So not really an ask unless anything really caught you and say, hey, we would love to do that. But, I really enjoy the relationship that we're building as far as, hey, what can we do to make things exciting for Texarkana, bring more people into Texarkana and spend some money. And so if there's anything that you guys think of that you think we could help you guys with, please let us know, because that's kind of what gets me excited and what I do. So
Those are great ideas.
Yeah.
The 70th band especially, so, 80th band, I mean. So.
Hey, Jenny, we want to thank you for all you do. Those endeavors they're very exciting to see.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yep. If there's anything we can do, let me know. And
Thank you.
any questions?
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good job. Outstanding. Now that I have the right agenda in front of me, I had like 3 agendas.
What's that?
I had like 3 agendas in front of me. So, all brand kind, you're up next. Come on down.
How are y'all? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Danny Hamblett with For All Brand Kind.
I'm Tracy Pittman.
We've got a few slides to show you guys. We also are not asking for any money, so great news. We just got some updates to give as well. Does this clicker work? Oh, okay. All right, so one thing that we've done recently that we just wanted to make you guys aware of, this was an ad spend that was done in the past through the sales agency. They did a full-page ad in this publication. It's out all year. We renewed it this year, so that ad is in there. That's what it looks like. Brought y'all a copy if you want to pass it around and look at it. This is a publication that's out all year and includes its plan meeting. So we didn't change the ad, or I'm sorry, we did change the ad artwork, but it has a floor plan for the convention center hotel, and so that stayed the same. So that's just a new thing we wanted y'all to know about, and we can click next. Here's some social media stats, and we can email you guys this afterwards in case you really want to dig into this. I won't read them all out, but you can see that Facebook traffic has increased, Instagram has increased, and on the front end of this, we kind of talked to y'all about one of our goals, which was to have better engagement on social media. In the past, there was a lot of content out there, but if people asked questions like, hey, where was that drink from? Hey, where'd you get that burger? Nobody was answering. And so we're trying to answer those questions. We're tagging businesses, and we're seeing that more people are engaging with the content. So we find that to be a win. We've had a couple of reels that have been pretty successful, and those stats were on the last page too. Video shoot, just an update on that. We did send a request a few months ago for videography, and Chairman Brewer approved it. So we've started some videography that will be used to run paid ads. We have pinpointed some moments and destinations that we're going to make sure that we get shots of. So we've started some of those. The next thing on our agenda for video is the fair, I think. And once we've got nightlife, we've got the Christmas parade, we've got some outdoor things that happened at, what was that festival?
It was Universal Vibe.
Universal Vibe. So we've got a few kind of scenes that are going to all come together, and we'll have some video ads that'll be put together, and when those are done, we'll show them to you as well. And we can next. Okay, I don't know if Commissioner Hollybush wants to talk any about an initiative that Leadership Texarkana has been doing to beautify State Line.
I can.
Okay.
So in Leadership Texarkana, you're basically put into a team and tasked with a project for the year. So the team that I'm on, our project was to beautify the state line with a focus on the billboards. So we were brainstorming and trying to come up with ideas. So we were able to secure a package deal for the 5 billboards that were not rented on state line. And so you can see the Start and Start Over Texarkana College one. That was one that was part of our project. And then I reached out to Tracy and Danny, and they felt like that would be a good use of our funds for A&P. And so we've got that one up now. And so we've got a couple more that we need to secure, but that's part of our project to beautify state line. And I'm glad that we could partner together and get that done.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's, the board just went up Friday, and it's right past Goodwill. So if you're heading south towards the courthouse, you guys can see it on the left side, on the Arkansas side.
And we just want them to keep coming, you know, we just want to keep going. So that was kind of the thought behind it.
Yeah, and we did talk with the Arts and Historic Commission to kind of, to see if they were going to run a board, and maybe we could make them look similar, or just to see what we could do. And part of their bigger initiative is to draw people off the interstate, down state line to downtown. So we felt like we would do our own artwork, but at least kind of keep that messaging consistent, keep riding the line, keep coming, come downtown. So we think it'll, you know, it'll look a little better with these boards filled in that,
Yeah.
and Commissioner Hollybush, they got a better price than what they would have been retail, so that was a good thing.
It's about 70% off.
Huge discount. Wow.
Yeah. So that'll be up for a year.
And just to make sure we're clear, you said there are two other boards that has to be put up or located to do that?
That's part of the Leadership Texarkana project.
So they got a
A&P's not paying
discount.
for 2 more boards.
They got a discount on 5 boards that were available to us. We got one. Texarkana College got one, and
Oh,
then
the other 4 went to other
other
entities.
yes.
All right, other
Unless
groups.
y'all want to get them
project
too,
groups.
but
I
hopefully,
think we're good. I think we're
hopefully
good.
other people will step up and, you know, help beautify, and yeah.
I think Bad Jacks could benefit from a board.
We always get something.
A big down water park, you know, benefit
yeah.
from the board. That'd be great.
That's one of, when we have guests stay at the house from out of town, they're like, send us to a local place. I'm like, that's right down state line. So that's the first place I send them. So,
Yeah. All right, and then did we have one more thing? Oh, just some kind of next things coming. There was a brochure that exists on the website that people do email in requests for that brochure, and they download it off of the website. We weren't sure exactly where printed copies were in the past, but we do plan to print some. We have updated it. We have not printed it yet. We're going to let you guys look at it before it goes to print, but we'll print some of those. We had one visitor center call us and say, hey, we're out of the brochure, so we know there were printed copies living somewhere in the world, so we're going to get some of those printed. New website design is a thing coming in the future. The video commercial spots that we talked about, we're getting video now to be able to put some spots together. Digital ad copy, that'll be a thing we'll get you guys to approve before we run any digital ads. So those numbers that you saw earlier for social media metrics, that is all organic reach. We have not been paying extra for any ads in the Facebook, Instagram, Meta space. And those numbers were compared to the previous agency that was running ads. So we feel like our organic reach is doing better than their paid reach was, but we are still planning to run some ads in the future. And we'll get you guys to approve copy before the ads go live. And then one of the things that we also talked about on the front end when we negotiated this contract with you all was doing some continuing ed, or I think that may have been one of the requirements in the RFP was that we did do continuing ed. So Nicole, who's working with us on social content, last year she went to the Arkansas Governor's Conference on Economic Tourism, or on tourism, and she said it was worthwhile. There were a lot of sessions where she learned things. So we're going to go this year. Nicole's going as well. And that's not going to cost, we're not asking for money for that. We budgeted that in, so we're good there. It's in Bentonville. There will be sessions that'll talk about trends in tourism in Arkansas for the coming year, and opportunities for us to network with other agencies who handle A&P accounts like this. So hopefully we can get some ideas, get some best practices, and we think it'll be a worthwhile thing to do. So we'll be doing that next month.
Good job. That's awesome.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
we're excited about it.
Are there any more questions?
No,
All right.
not
If
for me.
there's no other question,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Very much.
Next on the agenda, we have the proposal of amendments for the bylaws. And as you all remember, we had a workshop on this, and we did some revisions on application content, and also we did some revisions on meeting time.
Where the specific changes were made in this document?
Yeah, I was about to go through that with you. First, I was going to say, and Attorney Potter brought it up during the workshop, but I think the original agenda that went out to you actually said adoption of the amendments, but this is just a proposal. The bylaws state that It has to be proposed at a regular meeting and then adopted at a following meeting. A regular meeting and then adopted at a following meeting. So we had two changes in here. The first being in Article 2, Section 1, the meeting date changed to Tuesday. A lengthy discussion on the approval of late requests. So in Article 8, the first two paragraphs didn't change, but from there on did. So we included the 2/3 vote to hear the presentation, and then a simple majority to approve the funding. And then if that funding is approved, you would each do similar to how you allocate in the October meeting. You designate your desired amount of funding that you'd like to allocate, and then we take the average of that, and that's the final allocation.
All right, and I think that's the only items.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's the, I think you just covered it all, am I correct? Those the only items we went over in that workshop.
Yes, sir. And you also have, well, we talked a lot about the application in there, which
Right.
isn't technically part of the bylaws, but you do have a copy of the revised application in your packets there. Which it looks like our old application, just
okay, I
because
see
we
it at
used
the
the
back-
same
at the back.
format just to pretty it up a little
Yeah.
bit.
All right, thank you.
A little better presentation, but it's got all of the information in there that you all discussed during the workshop.
That's a good idea about that, Jerry.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. All right, that's the proposal of the amendments to the bylaws. Is there a motion on the floor?
So there won't be an approval tonight, sorry.
That's in
Did
the
we-
April one. It just has to be presented. There's no other.
Oh, that's right, that's right.
There's
We
no
got to
other-
present it. It's already written, then we got to present it, then we got,
Okay.
that's right. Hey, thanks. All right. All right, that moves us to the next item we have, and it has on here, vote on new chairperson.
So, Chairman, I believe this actually needs to be an executive session, correct?
It can be. Usually those are done in executive session.
Or we could just make a vote to have Director Brewer stay on for 2 more years.
Okay, are you interested in moving up?
I would like to be under his leadership for 2 more years, and then I'd be ready to move up.
Okay.
And in Article 4, Section 2,
Yes,
he
I
does
see.
have the option to serve more than one term. So that's what I would like to see happen, and then I would be ready to resume his role in 2 years.
Okay.
I know before, we had some commissioners that were replaced on the commission. They were in leadership positions. So before the conversation was had that nobody wanted to step up and fill those roles. But I think the spirit of our bylaws is that there's a succession, that it's a rotation, that other people are given opportunity to step into leadership roles, which is typical for many organizations. You know, a chairman will typically serve for a couple of years, and then they'll rotate off, and then there'll be a rotation, and there's a succession where the vice chair will move up. And I would like, you know, to have the opportunity to move into that chairmanship position eventually.
And I think that's a great idea, but I think right now our bylaws say the chairman and vice chairman can serve more than one term if he or she agrees. So until,
Well, that's only part of that.
And you did say you do not want to move up at this time.
I would like to stay, I think that the best person right now to run this board is Director Brewer.
Okay.
What do the bylaws say concerning the vice chair not moving into the chairmanship?
Well, nothing. But it does contemplate that when it says the chairman and vice chairman can serve more than one term if he or she agrees.
So Director Brewer, do you agree to serve another term?
Sure.
So there would need to be a vote on that. And I want to be clear, I didn't write these. I don't think none of y'all had anything to do with these. I would have written it better. I don't know who wrote it, but if I'm to lay blame on anybody, which is my right, I can do that on Josh Potter. So it's really silent on this, but I think unless, so the officers, chairman and vice chairman, your terms were up January 1. You were acting chairman and vice chairman right now until your successors are selected. The phrase, the chairman and vice chairman can serve more than one term if he or she agrees, I think that you need to motion, there needs to be a motion on the floor to keep Chairman Brewer as chairman, or elect Chairman Brewer as chairman, and vote on that. And then the vice chairman, and then vote on that. Or whoever, Stephen Hollenbush. But it's like we're starting from scratch, basically, if that makes sense. So if somebody wants to nominate a chairman, make that in a motion.
I make a motion that we nominate Ulyss Brewer, Commissioner Ulyss Brewer as chairman.
I second that motion.
All right, it's been motion and second. Is there any discussion? Okay, if there's no discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollybush,
No.
Commissioner Vandergrift,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright,
Yes.
I think those need to be written clear, more clear. We didn't even see those, didn't even talk about it.
Right.
All right, it's been, the yeses have it, and it's,
And now, vice chairman.
all right, is there a motion on the floor for a vice chairperson?
I would accept a nomination if anybody saw me fit to take that position.
I'll make a motion that we nominate Commissioner Wright as the, continue with her as the vice chair.
I second that motion. Oh, a motion. I second that motion.
All right, it's been motion and second. Is there any discussion?
I did elect you.
Commissioner Wright,
It was motion,
Really?
it was motion for Commissioner Wright
To stay vice
Or
chair.
vice chair?
for vice chair.
Is that your position? So coming into your,
Yes.
Well, I guess,
Oh, wait a minute, I got next, wait a minute, let me, okay, this is, you're right,
yes.
and you are
I'm Mills.
Mills. I withdraw my motion, okay? I do.
I was like,
do.
okay.
Can I do that? Because I got names mixed up, okay?
I'm not sure if we can withdraw that.
Oh,
You get,
well, we could all say.
Okay,
We can.
all right,
We can.
all right.
I was being a good sport.
Okay, okay, we'll withdraw that motion, just for,
Goodness.
Now tell me the last.
Mills.
Mills. I make a motion that we elect Commissioner Mills as our vice chair.
all right, it's been motion,
I think I'm like, a discussion.
I second.
maybe of, not that I don't want you, I'm just
It
telling you.
matters
So-
not to me. I'm serving on this board regardless. I don't have any more of a vote as a vice chair than I do as a chair.
Yeah.
So I think it's, if you want to, if someone wants to second it, that's fine. If not, that's fine too.
No, if anybody would like to take the position.
I second it.
Maybe hear them.
Well, if you don't have a position on it, if you don't care, I mean, I would like to step into that role.
I didn't say I didn't care. I said that if I'm voted out, I'm not going to leave the board. I'm not here because I'm just vice chair. I'm going to remain on the board.
As a point of order, it's been motion and second.
Is it still too late to nominate Holly Bush?
Well, you'll have to vote
Wait for
on
that
this
vote.
motion after any discussion, but you'll have to vote on this motion.
Okay.
All right, it's been motion and second. Are there any discussion? If there's no discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills?
Yeah, oh, can I vote yes on it? Yes?
Commissioner
I'm
Holmes?
Can I
Yes.
stop for a second? We're talking about the Holly Bush and Mills, and there's always this second. Can we start all over? As
No.
far as, I couldn't understand if we were seconding Holly Bush or Mills.
It's Ms. Mills.
Mills, okay, that's it. Go ahead.
Commissioner Holmes?
Yes.
Commissioner Holly Bush?
No.
Commissioner Vandergraff?
No.
Commissioner Wright?
No.
Chairman Brewer?
Yes. Keep forgetting we only have 6 people.
No tiebreaker.
So now we could accept another nomination, correct?
Well, you'll have to.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I nominate Director Holly Bush?
Is that a motion?
Can I motion? Yes, not nominate.
A second.
All right, it's been motion and second that it's been motion for Holly Bush to be elected for vice chair, and it's been second. Is there any discussion? All right, there's no discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills?
No?
Commissioner Holmes?
No.
Commissioner Vandergraff?
Yes.
Commissioner Wright?
Yes.
Chairman Brewer?
The last vote is inconsequential,
Yes.
FYI. Still need a majority and a 6-person council is 4. Right now, it's 2-2.
It's 2-2? or-
Yes.
It's 2-3. No.
No,
I
my
haven't
vote
voted.
right,
You're right,
count.
you're right. Okay.
Best that can happen is 2-3 or 3-2.
Who
So-
vote doesn't count?
I'm sorry? Holly Bush didn't vote. It's
I
on his.
was, my name wasn't called.
Right.
For the vote.
That's correct.
So I don't get to vote for myself?
No.
But Mills
She
could
voted
vote for
herself.
herself?
I don't think she did.
Yeah.
She
She
did.
did.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was just roll call. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that, it shouldn't have counted, it didn't matter anyway. But,
So you can't vote for yourself?
no.
So, so at this time, I still have the one vote, right?
Either way, the motion fails. Because on the six-person board, you've got to have 4 yays,
Oh.
and you can't get to 4. So your vote is inconsequential.
So it's irrelevant then? All right.
Since Holly Bush is not able to vote for himself, you've already got 2 nays. You can't get
Can't get 4
you can't
votes
get
out of it.
approval, so.
Is there a reason for that?
So that puts us back at a standstill as far as the same,
You still have to,
Vice.
you still have to make a motion on another vice chair.
Yes.
being that the first 2 motions didn't pan out for the first 2 individuals. So now we have to put in another motion for another person.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes. 4 votes wins it.
I make a motion for Ellen Holmes to be the vice chair.
Decline.
Can one of us be renominated and put to a vote again?
Yes. Somebody just has to make it.
Do we discuss again? Is that where we- Or not?
Really haven't
No,
had
it's
a
going to
week.
die on the floor if we don't get,
You know, in section 2, it says the rotation of officers will require that the vice chairman will move up to the position of chairman, and the chairman will rotate to a non-officer position.
Well,
So can I finish, please?
yeah, you can.
The spirit of our bylaws is that there's a rotation in leadership. That the chairman rotates off, the vice chairman moves up. It's the same thing with Kiwanis and Rotary. You serve as vice chairman basically as a way to learn that position and familiarize yourself with what the duties of a chair would be so that you can step into that role.
Yeah, I didn't understand that you were trying to assume my position. If I'd have known that, I may have handled it differently. If I'd have known that you wanted my position, then I would have succeeded under, and gone to to the chair. I didn't know that this is where we were.
Well, and.
But it didn't, in the spirit,
I didn't know.
it's, in the spirit, it's not what's in writing.
Well, right, Ms. Holmes, before they made that amendment years ago that, you know, the chairman and vice chairman can serve more than one term, you know, I think you'd be right on it, Mr. Hollybush, but, you know, we operate under the bylaws that we've been given.
so I understand where we're at right now is that,
And,
go ahead.
now, you can table the election of the vice chairman. The vice chair is still, you know, you're still vice chair until we elect another. If we never do it, then you're it. But you're the acting vice chair. We can table it and address this in the bylaws in April. Now.
And maybe when we have, are we going to fill the 7th position, and then we'd have a tiebreaker, so we wouldn't be at this impasse possibly?
Being down one, yeah, you hit the
Right.
nail right on the head. Being down one
Yeah.
board member is not helping things, for sure.
All right, with that being said, is there a motion to table?
I'll motion
The
that
vice
we,
chair-
I'll motion that we table, this vice chair position election.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and second. Is there any discussion? There's no discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills,
Yes.
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollywood,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandergraff,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright,
Yes.
Director Burr,
Yes. All right, it's been, motion passed. Next item we have on the agenda, is delinquent A&P taxes.
Are we still moving forward with the business license on the city level?
I'm
Are
sorry.
we still looking into what it would take to institute business licenses on the city level?
Yes, I am. I don't know if I brought that up to y'all or not, but I am looking into implementing a business license for the city. It's not for purposes of revenue generating or anything, but it's more of to serve as an enforcement tool, to better the appearance of our city, the quality of our businesses, that sort of thing. We've got a number of issues in public works that we have a difficult time handling. And this could be a tool that public works can use to get a grasp on that sort of thing. It's something that we could look at for the enforcement of A&P taxes possibly. We haven't done a whole lot of work on it yet, but I am going to be looking into that, and I'll get with Mr. Potter here and talk about if we can implement the A&P into it in any way. We certainly will, but that is something I'm working on. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon, but I do have a couple of our staff as well as I working on that.
Is
Well,
it
Tyler-
something that will happen or maybe happen?
Maybe. So the board is going to have to make that call
Okay.
to implement the license. We'll present it to the board, and it'll be up to them whether they pass that or not.
Okay.
Attorney Potter, I see that we have some on payment plans. I think that's very good. Now, these that are delinquent, did we offer them a payment plan?
Yes.
And I like that, because that means that we're working with them. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there any more questions? I do have one comment. Last week, we was there in Little Rock at the AML conference, Arkansas Municipal League, and just talking to a lot of the different other counties and in the area. And I think we talked about, the licensing or what have you. And that was their biggest thing, was the accountability that always gave them leverage to, so the integrity of the businesses was doing the right thing. And so I applaud you in going that direction, because we do all need to be held to one standard, no compromise.
We've actually been talking about it for a couple of years now.
Yes, yes.
We're
Yeah.
finally gaining some momentum.
That's good, because I can remember when Attorney Cogburn was sitting here, that was one of the questions that I asked as I came aboard, was what's our leverage, how we're going to enforce. And so, we haven't perfected it, but progress is progress. And I want to thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Job.
Chairman, sorry, go ahead.
I have one question that do we collect taxes on Airbnbs in Arkansas?
We have collected from Evolve. I'm glad you brought this up. I was looking at it just this week. We did collect A&P taxes from Evolve, I think it was. Does that sound right? Yeah. But that's the only platform that I see that A&P has collected from. So that was actually something that I was going to talk to Mr.
Okay.
Potter
Like
about.
Airbnb and,
VRBO.
VRBO.
Yeah, there's several platforms out there, I believe. But I know, I had a meeting with Tim Johnson, and he uses Evolve for his Airbnbs, and he did say that they are collecting the A&P tax, and I double checked, and we did collect that, but that's the only platform we've collected from. So I'll get with Mr.
yeah,
Potter
I'll
and
look into that. Because I know it's not in our bylaws right now, I believe. So, and I know a lot of the cities do have it in their bylaws. It states, I don't know how it's stated actually.
Well, and we're actually, more than likely at the next planning commission meeting, we're going to be discussing Airbnbs because we don't address Airbnbs in our ordinances whatsoever. So we're going to be addressing that with the planning commission. They'll then go to the board. We will certainly keep in mind A&P when we're doing that. And I'll keep Mr. Potter in the loop, and get his own advice on anything we need to include in there. A lot of that's going to have to do with zoning and permitting and everything, but I'm sure A&P can be wrapped into there somehow. But I had a discussion with our city planner about that just this afternoon. And they've actually already done a workshop on it. I believe it was last year at some point, but we never moved forward with anything. So I asked her to go ahead and bring that back up at the next planning commission meeting.
I do have a question. If and when I'm replaced, I know eventually I will be, am I off the board completely, or do I just assume another position on the board?
It says,
I didn't see anything on
it
there.
says right there in that section.
still be on
You
I believe
go
it says
back to being
you
a
just
commissioner.
rotate to a non-officer position.
Non-officer commission.
Okay.
Yes.
Until your term expires.
And where is the term limits?
Isn't it 4 years?
Are you talking about for the commission or for the
To sit
officer
on the
position?
board, is that a non-officer?
There's not a limit.
That's not,
It says,
Okay.
There is a term, but there's no limit to how many terms you can serve.
right there.
Yeah, it's a 4-year term, but you can be reappointed.
Okay. I just didn't see where it said 4 years anywhere.
It's section 3 at the bottom of subsection A.
Attorney Potter, in regards to the vacant position we have, I understand that we have to advertise that position.
Yes.
Is that 14 consecutive days, or,
The bylaws are silent as to that. The bylaws merely state that whether resulting from expiration of a regular term or otherwise, a vacancy on the commission in any of the 4 tourism industry positions or at-large position shall be advertised on the City of Texarkana, Arkansas website, and notice of the vacancy shall be forwarded via United States Postal Service to restaurants and hotels, motels within the City of Texarkana, Arkansas.
But I do believe you need to formally declare a vacancy.
yeah, right. Yeah. They don't give a timeline, though, right?
But we have to
Did I
notify all
hear
the
that?
restaurants and hotels, right? We had to send them a certified letter.
Right, and it doesn't really give a timeline, but it says the vacancy shall be filled by nomination made by the remaining members of the commission with approval by the city board.
Gotcha.
So, I don't think it doesn't say anything about special meeting versus regular meeting. So I would say get that notice out on the website and through the mail, and get that, I'd call a special meeting certainly before the April meeting, so we can get that, we can get whoever nominated and to the regular board for approval.
So one of us do have to nominate that person to be heard.
Well,
Well, what's going, oh, go
well,
ahead.
the board, y'all will vote on commissioner
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
for nomination to the board,
Okay,
Right.
gotcha.
and they will approve.
And what if there's a tie? I can see that happening, considering
Keep
how
voting.
we just keep,
It'd be an impasse, we'll go to the next person.
okay.
Are we?
And Chairman, you just got to declare a vacancy.
Okay.
Are we on other business, kind of?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Because I won't be at the next meeting. Supposed to have a baby that week, so.
Oh, congratulations.
I want to be able to vote, so do we need to just change the date? Can we change the date of the meeting, or how does that work? I won't be at the next.
We can reschedule it.
Can we reschedule?
Yeah.
Does that just need to be,
Via motion?
Motion.
Move to
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's get-
yeah, let's look at the date then. What date do we
I
have?
think we have the 15th.
April 15th?
Yes, that's correct.
Can y'all do the 29th?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I'm good with 29th.
Think you're gonna be up to it by
I
then?
think, yeah. Give me 2 weeks, I'll be back.
29th at 4:30?
Works for me.
Okay.
Does anyone
Good.
have a conflict, or are we good with that date?
I'm good.
What sounds like the
Thank you.
29th of April, 16:30, 4:30?
Yes.
All right?
Do I need to make a motion to change?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I make a motion to change the next April meeting to April 29th.
Second.
All right, it's been motion and seconded. Are there any discussions? If there's no discussions, roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills,
Yes?
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollywood,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandergraff,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright,
Yes.
Director Brewer.
Yes. All right, next item we have,
Chairman Brewer, I believe, still need to formally declare a vacancy.
yes. All right, yes. Going back up, I do need to declare that we still have a vacancy.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Thank you for the reminder. All right, moving down to the next item on the agenda, we have other business. Is there any other business that we need to discuss? Any unreadiness? If there's no other business, is there a motion for
Motion to adjourn.
adjournment?
Second.
All right, it's been motion and adjourned. Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Mills,
Yes?
Commissioner Holmes,
Yes.
Commissioner Hollywood,
Yes.
Commissioner Vandergraff,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright,
Yes.
Chairman Brewer.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.
Well, I'll see you guys.